Hello and welcome to our first ATTA members only 20 minutes with. We'll just let some attendees join the room and then we will kick off. So it's very exciting to be launching a new initiative. So thank you all for taking the time to come and join us. So as I say, hello and welcome to the first ATTA 20 minutes with. These sessions are going to be capped at 20 minutes, so if we don't get through all the questions, they will be addressed at the end. Initially, we're running these sessions with our various professional partners, and as time goes on, we will be broadening the scope. Naturally, your feedback is vital, and if there are any topics that you'd like to be featured, please let us know. Insurance is a hot topic at the moment, and today's session is with our newest professional partner, battleface. So I'd like to welcome Hugh King, UK and Europe Business Development Director. Hugh has over 25 years experience, insurance experience, working for some of the world's largest insurers and intermediaries, leading the growth of battleface to simplify the travel insurance market, to provide the 21st century globetrotter with tailored solutions for both conventional and unconventional destinations. Hugh has a short presentation and we'll then head to Q&A, addressing first the questions that were raised during registration. So if you do have any further questions, please simply type these into the Q&A box below and we will address them. As always, these sessions are recorded and the recording will be available shortly afterwards. And any questions that we don't get to will be covered in a Q&A document that will be shared with everyone in due course. So now's the time to get on with the show. So Hugh, over to you. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for inviting me and pleasure to meet you all ATTA members. It's a pleasure to be here and to welcome battleface to ATTA members and its availability to you and your consumers and travellers. I'll try and keep this as brief as I can, but I thought I'll just run through a slide deck that's available to all ATTA members on the ATTA website. It just gives a quick overview of battleface. We'll run through this and we'll address the questions that follow suit. Just to give you a background on battleface, battleface was started in 2012 from our heritage of working with journalists, media personnel, TV production crews, providing the international assistance in remote locations. From that, we actually were requested, can we assist them with actually insurance products, as whilst we were working with the likes of AIG, Aviva, and others providing the assistance pieces, actually what they wanted was an insurance product that can sit alongside that enabled them to go into these challenging locations. And from that, battleface was born. And we're an MGA, with insurance products that are underwritten through Lloyd's of London and Munich Re. We're based in the UK, but we also have offices in the US as well, and we will soon be hopefully going global in the next few weeks, certainly by the end of 2020. We have the ability to provide products for the consumer directly, and our products are available from battleface.com, but we also build individual solutions as well on a group basis, working with charities, NGOs, NFPs, commercial SMEs as well, building annual group plans for their travels around the world. We're licensed across the United Kingdom and as I said, through many states as well in Europe, but also in the US as well. So we're available to over 56 nationalities worldwide, and hopefully, as I said, we'll soon be global available to every single nationality, no matter where you may be. Our consumers that work with us, our travellers that work with us, tend to be those that go to the more challenging locations. So we are very used to working with travellers going to the African continent, but also South America, and even further afield. So taking into account the poles, the North and South Pole, Antarctica, and also obviously the Far East as well. We tend to work with anybody that's looking to just go off the beaten tracks, where they're looking for that 24/7 emergency assistant that can provide them with support for their travel medical needs, as well as their insurance needs. And we tend to work on anyone that needs that. Our products are available through a digital medium, and what we've done is we've tailored our solution so that we're providing a solution for that 21st century traveller. Taken away that traditional piece, whereas insurance has always been very much staid and stuck from the 20th century. We're now looking at a solution that's very much digital, available to that 21st century traveller who wants that robust underwriting that goes alongside their product, but with a 24/7 on the ground emergency assistance as well. And that's where battleface has come to the fore. With the COVID-19 coming on board this year, it's had a devastating effect to the travel industry. And in July of this year, we actually added in COVID-19 into our medical expenses. So actually our policy now, whilst it's available to purchase across 50 countries, it now includes travel medical with medical expenses. So if we've got a travel medical emergency occur overseas, even if it isn't from COVID-19, that's absolutely fine and we'll pick that up, so long as the traveller is under the age of 59 for the duration of the trip. Unfortunately, what we have at this moment in time is lack of experience as a society as to understand how we can medically treat COVID. So one of the challenges we do have at this moment in time is that our upper limit with regards to COVID-19 actually stops at 59. We can actually provide cover for anyone that's travelling over the age of 59, just our cover for COVID-19 stops at the ages of 59, but effectively our policies are available for anyone up to the age of 79. And across that, you can see from there on that table of benefits, our policies standard come with £5 million worth of medical emergencies. Alongside that, you have your usual insurance benefits that sit inside there that include baggage and personal money, as well as some personal liability. Now, a number of those features and benefits are adjustable. We can adjust that as the consumer goes through the purchase path, such as the baggage and personal money. They can be increased to £5,000, and the actual excess can be reduced down as they go through the buy and purchase. One of the main things about our policies, and it's important to not only point out what we do cover, but also very much about what we don't cover, because that's one of the challenges that anybody has with insurance, about knowing what can they have cover, what do they have cover and what do they not have cover for. Our policies, because COVID-19 is a known event now, and it's no longer unforeseen, we can't provide cancellation cover with regards to COVID-19. So that's one thing that's worthwhile understanding. That said, we are still seeing a significant volume of travellers these days now travelling and saying, look, do you know what, I wish to go away on holiday, I wish to go away on my bucket list trip. I'm not worried about the cancellation. I just need to make sure that I have got some travel medical insurance in place should the worst happen. Should I break a leg? Should I fall ill whilst I'm away? Should I catch COVID-19? I want to make sure that I have got my medical emergency expenses in place that can operate should the worst happen, and it needs to operate regardless of the location. So that's where our policy comes in. For the sake of being absolutely transparent, our policies do not have an FCDO advisory exclusion in there. So effectively, we include those countries as standard. There's only 4 countries in the world that we do not provide cover for. The rest we do. Again, for the sake of transparency, those countries that we don't provide cover for are Venezuela, South Sudan, Yemen, and North Korea. The rest of the world is our ocean, and we can work that through. One of the actual unique benefits of our policy is that our assistance is available 365, 24/7. We utilise ATTA Global as our assistance providers, and they utilise the Coliseum Group, and that enables us to provide on-the-ground emergency assistance where required across the world. They speak over 60 languages, and we have over 400,000 providers available to us through their logistics, security, and emergency services providers. So it's a great network that operates there. And regardless of the situation, our providers can assist and provide that assistance to the individual, no matter what the emergency may be. Adding into the piece where I talked about earlier on about working for the 21st century traveller, our policies are available on a digital basis, so the individual is able to purchase our policy through effectively answering 3 questions. Once they've answered those 3 questions, they're able to purchase that policy straight away, and that's available to purchase straight onto an app. Downloads through the app, the insurance schedule is available to the individual, and they can travel with that regardless of where they may be. And effectively, it just enables a much slicker process than working through the traditional methodology of an insurance certificate that you'd have that you wait for or print off on a printer and go take alongside with you. You can take this on your mobile device, and it can stay with you. Another advantage of our product is that actually you can purchase it after departure as well. So you haven't got to have it immediately at the point, but if you need to extend your trip, or if you need to purchase it after you departed, you can do so with our particular policy as well. Now, one of the advantages of working with ATTA, and one of the reasons that we were delighted to be accepted by Chris, was that we wanted to work with ATTA members. We work with a number of travel providers, travel agents, and travel associations around the world, where we work in partnership with the agent, with the member, where we make our services available to the members' clients. And we do that simply through an affiliate link. So through that affiliate link, the consumer can purchase our policies, and we then provide a referral fee to the member, which enables them to earn whilst also providing a solution very much to the consumer. So very much helping to open up Africa as we move through during these challenged times. As I talked about beforehand, we have various different solutions. We have the affiliate solution that we utilize, but we also have the ability to build bigger products as and when we have the solutions available to ourselves. But for the time being, and what's available for ATTA members today is the ability to integrate an affiliate link into your website, so your consumers can actually purchase the policy straight from your website, and actually have their policy available to them for them to travel. Very, very simply, and trying to surmise this and pulling it through into 6 what I class as featured advantages and benefits. This just quickly summarizes what battleface is about. We've built unique solutions to meet the requirements of our partners that enables us to actually design products that meet their particular needs. And not only that, it just means that we can provide solutions for worldwide destinations, irrespective of the FCDO advisory piece that may come out from the States. With that variability with regards to advice over this next 12 to maybe 36 months, it's going to be imperative that the traveller has the peace of mind to know that no matter what the situation is with regards to the government's advice, if they wish to travel, they have an insurance policy that will operate irrespective. And the most important thing as well, it's available to them straight away, sits on a device, and they can use it and take it away with them. It's a very, very short deck. Don't want to take too much time with regards to it, because I'm really conscious that there are a number of questions there that I'm sure Chris wants to ask, that I can answer for you, and make sure that this session is as useful and as informative as possible.
Great, thank you, Hugh. Very brief rundown on quite a comprehensive subject, really. So just going straight on to various questions. You've already covered some of the questions that arose from registration. Just briefly, rather than mentioning the countries again that you can provide cover to, which ones are that you can't provide cover to?
Once again, it'll be Venezuela, South Sudan, Yemen, and North Korea.
Fantastic. Now, you can provide coverage for clients based in various destinations around the world. Is coverage available for US clients available or not?
It is available. So my colleague Jeff is based in the States, and he's my equivalent over there. And effectively, the travel insurance is available through our portal in the US. So if we have got any US-based citizens that are looking to travel across to Africa, then they can visit battleface.com and purchase the US product to take them across to Africa. Okay,
that's fantastic. If someone is has enforced quarantine while they're abroad, do you provide any coverage for that?
Unfortunately not. One of the challenges that exist at the moment with COVID-19 is an understanding piece from an insurance perspective. The insurance market is trying to catch up and really understand COVID-19 and its effect. And not only that, how we can control this disease as we move through time. So at this moment in time, the insurance market is very, very cautious as to what it can provide. One of the USPs of our product is that we want it to be available at any time to anyone, anywhere, wherever they wish to travel. If we would look towards including things like quarantine as a direct result of COVID, we'd have to follow the advice that comes in from the state and really take an understanding as to what their knowledge is of the particular countries that we're looking at. So what we took the decision that said, right, we'll stick with our heritage, and what we've always believed in is that 21st century travelers should be able to go where they want, when they want. So with that, to ensure that we can provide that element of cover, we said, right, what we will do is we can't provide that particular element of cover with regards to quarantine, should that ever be the case. That said, we're still seeing significant volumes of people still traveling today saying, I'm going to travel anyway. I hear what you're saying. We understand the risk, but we're still traveling.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's positive that the insurance market is adapting, as is the consumer adapting to traveling at this time. So just talking about your cancellation, so £2,000 for cancellation cover, that's relatively low with regards to a typical safari to holiday. What's your sort of thoughts on that?
I understand the challenge, totally understand it. One of the things that you just talked about there is the adaptation and innovation. One of the things that we have to do is the insurance world needs to innovate, but for that, they've got to understand what the marketplace is. So we'll continually look at that and see whether or not we can look towards increasing that benefit, but for the time being, it will stay at £2,000. That said, I think there's also a bit of an education from the consumer as well. The consumer's possibly going to have a little review as to how they view the risk as well. This is challenging times for everybody. And whilst we understand that they wish to be able to cover everything, every eventuality that may exist with a trip, be it a bucket list adventure, be it a holiday, be it a business trip, unfortunately, not everything's insurable at this moment in time. So the consumer's probably going to have to, at this moment in time, take that risk. And understand, right, okay, if I'm going to go, then I've got a risk of X at this moment in time. But we're always looking to try and see what we can do with our policies and see if we can innovate it. And hopefully in time we'll look towards increasing that. But for the time being, it will stay at £2,000. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is having a COVID-19 PCR test an essential requirement to take out the travel insurance or not?
Not with ourselves. Obviously, we'd ask every consumer before traveling to understand what the entry requirements are for the state that they're traveling to, but it's not a requirement for them to take that, for them to do the PCR test, take our policy. Our policy will operate irrespective.
Okay. And just thinking about the actual cover on the ground, if any type of evacuation is required, be that medical or other, is that covered by the policy?
Yeah, so if you've got a medical situation that occurs whilst an individual is away, then we'll work with our medical officer in that particular state to understand the severity of that and if a medical evacuation is required. It's actually less frequent than one would think, but our medical teams would actually work that through and understand whether or not that's needed, and if that is the case, that will happen.
Okay. And in terms of sort of the activities and things like that that are covered by the policy, is something such as mountain climbing, sort of adventure sports covered by your policy?
They are in certain instances. What I'd ask is for every instance that has occurred, that the individual traveller asks us what or advises us what sort of activities they're undertaking, and we can then provide that advice as to whether or not our policy will extend, and if so, what the cost will be for that particular extension.
Okay, that's fantastic. And I am conscious that we are now at 20 minutes. So I'm just going to do one more question. Any of the other questions that have been asked, either in advance or in the Q&A that's live, they will be addressed. If you do have any further questions, please type these into the Q&A now so that we can capture them, or alternatively send them through to the team via email. So one final question is, in terms of your COVID-19 medical cover, currently that's up to the age of 59. Are you able to provide a cover for anyone older than 59 for COVID at a premium?
Unfortunately not. At this moment in time, that's not possible. Something that we're continually looking at, but as I talked about a bit beforehand with regards to understanding COVID, at this moment in time, we're certainly aware of the increase in mortality with regards to individuals that catch the disease over the age of 60. And with that means we have to take a rather cautious approach with our cover. So we've capped it at 59. We may look towards reviewing that towards the end of the year, and when we know more about the disease. But at the moment in time, it is capped at that, and we don't have the ability to increase it, unfortunately. That said, as I said beforehand, our policy will still operate if we have an individual that wishes to travel that's over the age of 59. So our policy operates as per normal. It just would exclude anything with related to COVID-19.
So they would receive standard medical cover, but they just simply wouldn't receive the COVID-19 cover.
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Hugh. We are now 22 minutes past.
Blue by.
So for round one, I think that's very good. So Hugh, thank you very much for your time for the presentation. Insurance is clearly very much a hot topic at the moment. It is something that is developing. Please, if you do have any further questions, do reach out to us. We can pass those on to Hugh. As I said at the beginning, this session has been recorded. So if you did miss any of the session, it will be sent out via email. And all of the questions will be addressed. We will be developing a Q&A document around the battleface insurance policy. And please just keep your eyes open for our next 20 minutes with. So Hugh, thank you very much for your time, and to everyone listening on the other end, thank you for your time. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chris. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.